Hey everybody, we're ready to continue with Final Fight LNS Ultimate, showing off this bonus stage. This is the one that occurs after you complete Stage 4, and move on to Stage 5. And for Stage 5, you don't choose a path, since we're going into what is meant to be the last level of the arcade mode. We're going to play through this Chun-li. Hope I sound okay. With spring starting up, my nose is getting a little stuffy from all the hay fever. Body's been fighting the sniffles for a while. But I think we'll be okay. We're gonna start the last of the arcade levels. This one's called the Bay Area. I like to call this one the Shadaloo Bay Area, which will make sense once we see the enemies. Or as the bosses. You hit this sailor guy who's Marino or something, but we got rid of him. Let's take a look at Chun-Li's profile here. You can see all her moves and such. And the theme here is the rock remix of Ken's theme from Street Fighter 2. Let's hit him with this. One of the moves it doesn't tell you is the head stomp that Chun-Li has. You can do it by hitting down and attack. Like to stay in the air and keep stomping Simon's here while right now the current roster of enemies can't stop me. I just keep racking up my combo until they stop standing in that spot, of course. If you hit up an attack, Chun-Li will do this overhead chop, which works like the usual combo I've been doing. I beat those guys, didn't even need the 50 MP. And this area has also got a lot of enemies. Most annoying of which, this guy with the bombs, or the knives. Luckily, I know some of the enemies can still drop food, the Wong Hu in particular. Or I can gain a level. The ring should level me up. There we go. I could have done that better, but we still pulled it off. One thing you probably noticed is I have a fairly low score coming into the last level. That's on purpose. And just air throw there with Chun-Li. It'll make sense when we get to that point why I kept my score low intentionally. Throw Hollywood away. Maybe miss a bunch of those drums, but the drums contain like money and other items in them. But a bunch of Hollywoods with Molotovs will attack you as you try to get them. Grab all that we can. Not that we need it. Again, I've been keeping my score intentionally low. Coming up to the boss. There's a food here. We can grab it and take on the boss of the first area, which is Balrog. And this is why I refer to this as the Shadaloo Bay. The bosses of this stage are all the Shadaloo Kings. And again, like all bosses, you want to keep your distance from them when they're getting up, because they do a recovery wake-up move when they get up if you're too close. The Balrog is also the first boss that could do an ultimate attack of his own against you. So you want to also be extra careful of that. Let's even get rid of the other enemies here. On normal, they won't come back once you've gotten rid of them. Alright, let's see if I can get him to do his ultimate at me. No, he's not doing his ultimate. He can parry his charging punches, which he does. He does a charging straight and a charging uppercut, just like in Street Fighter 2. It's a little hard to parry them, as you see. Yeah, his ultimate, he'll do his final corkscrew punch. He's not doing it here. So we'll just take him out. Once he's down, we can move on to the next level. It's already playing Street Fighter 4's Vega theme. Now that we know the secret of who the bosses will be, that should give you a hint as to who the boss of this stage is going to be. Get a little more guys. Grab a diamond in there. Go. These guys. Yeah, down forward attack makes Chun-Li do her Kikoken, which is her bubble fireball there. The one she got in Super Street Fighter 2. Quarter circle forward and the jump makes her do her lightning kicks. Down up attack gives her the big choke kick from I think that was from Street Fighter Alpha. Down up jump makes her do her spinning bird kick. You can do air throw with a parry in the air as usual. And showing off the air stomp. There we go. Yeah, the Kikosho is one of her ultimates. I think it was originally in Street Fighter Alpha. And her other one is the one from Street Fighter 4, which was her ultra attack. So now we take on the next boss, which is Vega. Again, the bosses in Stage 5 and onward are actually much tougher. I am about to level up, though. So we'll hit Vega with the Kikosho. Air throw him off the screen. And get hit by those jerks when I was trying to move away. And he got behind me and started hitting me with his combo. There we go. Good air combo. Yeah, that was Chun-Li's Ultra combo from Street Fighter 4. There is a limit to how many times I can air juggle Vega, although I actually didn't reach that limit beating on him like that. You'll know it because the game will force him to recover with the voice that plays whenever you hit them with a desperation or recovery move. Once we've beaten Vega, we move right on to this inside of a cargo plane where we have to fight Sagat, the next Shadaloo King. And I've shown already in the select screen that the Shadaloo Kings themselves are playable. There we go, I parried counter-attacked Sagat there. That guy turned me around right as I was about to hit Sagat with my super, with the ultimate, not him. This is why oftentimes the regular enemies attacking you at the same time as the boss are worse than the boss. Yeah, let's see you stop me from doing this to him. fact, I dare you to try. Yeah, you gotta watch out for his tiger shots. You can parry bullets and grenades, but you cannot parry tiger shot. Figure that out. If you have a projectile reflection move, you can reflect tiger shots, but you cannot parry them, so you gotta watch out when he uses them. We saw his ultimate earlier, he does a tiger cannon. Vega could do the bloody high claw, which makes him leap back and forth, but I managed to beat him without him using it on me. Tiger cannon, we'll just avoid it. Not what I wanted, but okay. Finish off Sagat with this. There we go. Now if I wanted to, I could walk in place to recover some MP for the last fight coming up. I still got 3 lives for it. And because I did this on purpose, this will be the last fight before we see the game's ending. At least the game's most standard ending for beating the arcade mode. So we'll walk in place or just around the map for a bit. We'll get about 130 MP and then we'll stop. Don't want to waste too much time just walking in place. There's Jessica, but looks like we're gonna have to defeat Bison to rescue her. Yep, so the standard boss of arcade mode is Bison, as you'd expect, based on the story mode. That's the reason we're playing as Chun-li. Makes the most sense for her to be the one to defeat him here. There we go. He's got these Andores backing him up, but they can be parried, as can the Psycho Crusher, as I demonstrated there. Thought he teleported over to the other side. He teleported off screen to the right. Probably lose 1 life, because I'm kind of low on health here, but I should be fine. I've got 2 more after this one. The Andores aren't being as annoying as I thought. I thought they'd charge at me more. In fact, I honestly thought one of them was going to get me. That's why I didn't parry the Psycho Crusher when I should have. I was waiting for one of the Andores to attack me. Again, I got plenty of lives for this. Throw an Andore down. Actually, not the move I meant to use, but it still did what I wanted it to do. Yeah, I counter-attacked the Psycho Crusher there. Doing his ultimate. When he does that, you gotta go to the top and jump to avoid the ultimate Psycho Crusher. This should finish Bison. Now we've defeated Bison and rescued Jessica. So we've won, right? Let's take a look and see. We get an ending. After a tough battle, our heroes managed to defeat Bison when he was about to escape in his helicopter, taking Jessica with him. Let me just see Cody landing an uppercut on Bison. Cody bashes him for having kidnapped his girlfriend, unleashing his most violent side, what years later would lead him to be imprisoned. We see other characters hitting Bison. Hagar intends to show Bison who rules in Metro City, so after giving him a big punishment, he looks for ways to imprison him for his crimes. Chun-li accomplished to thwart Bison's plan to rule the world, so thanks to this, she is promoted in the Interpol. The English is a little broken in the endings, but that's okay. But she still does not know with certainty if she will have also managed to avoid the death of her father. mean, she did travel back in time to defeat him, so who knows? The battle in Metro City, and especially in the fight against Bison, has helped Ryu to improve his skills. However, he is aware of he's still many things to improve. Again, the English is a little broken in this ending. I think the Captain's Command accomplished a new mission, this time stopping the crime in the past. I think the people who make this game, their main language is Spanish. The command decides to remain in 1989 until things calm down definitively in Metro City. However, Bison's defeat does not mean the end. Bison says, "You've defeated me, but this is only the beginning. My recruited allies over time will crush you." Hagar asks, "What are you talking about, sticky worm?" "I have prepared a surprise for you. I've brought some friends who will finish my plan." We see a picture of Cody looking up at Silver Samurai and the Kingpin. "Once they've killed you all, I'll only have to stand as the leader of the world. Ha 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 ha." See another picture of some more characters. When it seems that everything was over, new enemies from other times and other dimensions appear in Metro City. Now, our heroes must travel to the past again and discover a way to eradicate evil forever. They finally understand that this was not their ultimate. And the picture shows us Slicer, Seth, Magneto, and Venom next with Belger above them. But then the credits play. This technically counts as beating the game. The credits theme is another original theme by Dolmeca the Knight. It's called "We Won the Final Fight." I'll let the credits play here the first time. In the background, it shows a couple of the characters doing their ultimate attacks. You see one from Fei Long that just lit a bunch of people on fire. You see E Honda doing his sumo smash on Ritu. Of course, even though this is the ending of the standard arcade mode, we are far from done with Final Fight LNS Ultimate. There's another secret fight as well as more levels to get through. The reason I kept my score low is that I wanted to fight Bison and get that first ending. But if we go back and get a higher score, we'll actually fight a different boss, and after him, more levels become available. So, yeah. After we watch the credits sequence, I'm going to go back and we're going to do that level again, only this time I'm going to go there with a much higher score than I did before. You see the awesome beta testers. Yeah, some of these pictures will even preview some of the later levels we'll be going into, such as Cadillacs and Dinosaurs and the Punisher. Once that plays, it'll play this part of the ending where It plays in arranged versions of Ryu's ending theme from Street Fighter II, and all the characters appear. We see the 3 from Final Fight, the 4 from Final Fight 2 and 3, the 4 characters from Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, the 4 members of the Captain Commando unit, the 4 playable characters from Alien vs. Predator, the characters from Battle Circuit. Then we see the Punisher and Nick Fury. And we see the characters from Marvel vs. Capcom. Then we see Arthur, Lancelot, and Percival from Knights of the Round. The characters from Warriors of Fate. The characters from Street Fighter Alpha. The characters from Street Fighter 3. Characters from Street Fighter 4, all the characters from SNK's The King of Fighters, and then lastly the cast of Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, and we get a thanks for playing. We'll let the music play out. It's almost over. Once the music plays, we get this screen. It says, Normal mode cleared. Congratulations. The picture that appears here will actually be different depending on which ending you get, as will this. You get a sort of reward for completing every difficulty, which is characters, which is, usually it's this. It's like different music as well as pictures of cosplayers as several of the playable characters of the game. Now, I can't show all of these to you. Some of them are a little spicy, so I can't show all of the rewards you get for completing the difficulties. Especially not the ones for completing the Muso difficulty, so we'll just show this first normal one, since these are just some basic cosplay pictures. Some of them are actually pretty good. This guy actually managed to cosplay as Blue Dalcine. It's funny, that's the Nash from Street Fighter V, even though the one you play as in this game is the one from Street Fighter Alpha. There's Carlos from Final Fight 2 with his sword. That one's Cody as the mayor, with handcuffs on for some reason, even though he's no longer a prisoner. One thing I should also point out is if you complete the game on the beginner difficulty, you don't get to see the ending or any of these rewards. The game just straight up tells you, sorry, no ending or reward for completing beginner mode. Basically their way of telling you go back and beat the game again on a higher difficulty. I think that's the movie version of Nick Fury. Yeah, some of these rewards can go on for a while, as you can see, but I'll show this one off, if only because it's probably the one I can definitely show you. And once you see the reward, or skip it, it brings you to the score screen here. And then we should return to the title screen. And yeah, for the moment we've completed the first normal ending of the game, but we're not done yet. As I said before, there's another boss to fight in the arcade mode, and once we beat him, a whole slew of new levels will come up. So in the next part, we're actually going to head back to the Shadaloo Bay and face Bison again, only this time with a much higher score, and see what those new boss is, as well as the new levels. And we'll start those new levels in the next part. So once again, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I'll see you for the next video.